I don't know how I'm gonna do it. It's an enormous jump for me, a leap into what I call pure fiction, because it's all gotta come from me. It's not that I'm researching an artist's life and taking features of that life and exhibiting them.
Because
I
that
don't
gives you some
have-
structure.
I don't
Yeah.
have a skeleton to fall back on, and it's all going to be my own invention. But,
How long do we have to wait?
honey, didn't you hear? I just said it only started 3 weeks ago.
Gee, James Patterson publishes several years.
I know, I don't know how he does it. I
Well,
don't
I have
know.
an idea, but.
No, you'll have to wait probably 2 years. I'd like to tell you more about it, but it is so new that there's aspects of it that I'm unsure of. Yes.
Can I just say something? This particular book,
Girl in Hyacinth Blue, yes.
it just took my breath away of how many perspectives you have of one painting.
Mm-hmm.
Because you
That's
created.
what I love to play with in that book.
I absolutely adore that.
Mhm.
And it's beautifully written, and art, and thinking about it, and how it impacts people's lives.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. In a way, I'm kind of returning to that.
Good.
Because I'll be picking, of these four painters, I'll be picking several paintings from each one, and maybe they're not even going to be real paintings. Maybe like Girl in Hyacinth Blue, I will invent a painting by these painters out of studying their work. But how these three generations react to those several paintings, maybe there'll be 8 paintings altogether. How they react is going to be based on what their experience is. You know, and this mentions 3 wars. Franco-Prussian, World War I and II. And their lives are affected by the wars. Their lives are also affected by art. I'm always interested in how art can heal. And if there's any time that we need healing is when we're at war. So they will have something in their own lives that generates interest in those paintings. I will tell you one more thing. The town in the south of France is a mining town on a hill, and what is mined there is ochre, to be made into pigments. Probably 17 different shades of ochre, from palest pale buttery yellow to gold to orange to rose to deep carmine, 17 shades. And then this town mines the pigments for paint, house paint, stucco, but also for artist paints. So here we have the real source of, from the earth, of paintings. So that's an aspect to it too. Okay, that's all I better say. Does anybody else have anything to ask me?
I don't have a question. question, but I just like to share that I borrowed this book from a friend, I guess about 6 years ago or something. And when I read it, I just couldn't, I said, may I please keep that book? And she said yes, but I never even paid attention to who wrote it. Because this book I just loved it. And when I got the email and it had the Forest Lover, I was like, is that the book? And I ran to my bookcase.
Yeah, no, it's
and
good.
I knew, 6 years later, and I've moved, I knew exactly where the book was.
Good.
And I got it out. It is. and so I'm so excited to be here and to meet you and to start to know about your other books.
Oh, that's the only one of mine that you've read.
Yes.
Yes, but maybe other people here have not read that.
They might not. It's The Forest Lover, and I think it's one of the most amazing books I've ever read. It's just.
Yeah, I did not know Emily Carr's work before I read that book,
I
and
never
I really
heard of it
enjoyed
before.
looking at her paintings.
She's not known very much in the
Right.
United States. She's a Canadian, you're bursting to tell me something. What is it?
Well, my friend Laura, anyway,
I'm a librarian, and I referred her to the Forest Lover, and she has really taken off on your work. Did I say it all?
yeah, you said it all. And then I said to Laura, don't you think we need an Emily Carr book at Pack Library? So Pack Library now has Emily Carr's, it was in the 70s, it's a beautiful book
Of her paintings. Good.
Yes, yes, so you got it.
Yes, I'll come and see it.
So my question is, since you aren't an artist and a colorist, even though your grandfather whatever's, how do you know the depths of those colors and with Clara and all that? How do you know all of that? I mean, it's just so exquisite. You would think that you had been working with those colors every single day since you were born. And
Well,
then-
my mother had a real love of color. We had a step-great-grandfather living with us when you must have read that on my website. And between the two of them, I began a very early appreciation of color. She would call colors by their fruit or flower or jewel names. Peach or tangerine or apricot or emerald or jade or, okay, let me give a flower in there, hyacinth. So that was my start in learning color. And then for a while I wrote a column in an arts newspaper, very small publication in San Diego. And I got to interview an artist every month, and one I became friends with over the years. And when I was working on Luncheon of the Voting Party, he said, well, bring a print of this paint. I have a large print of it. And I took it to his studio, and together we mixed all of the various colors that appeared on different parts of that painting. And wow, was that fun. Just to get in there and all that gooey stuff, I love that. And I think that tactile aspect of painting must be such a joy for artists. Yeah.
I have told so many people that I think that the best opening sentence of a story that I've ever read is the one of Crayon in your life studies.
Yes, how did I start it?
Oh, it's that magnificent one. And it's about when grandfather came to our house to
Came-
die.
yes.
Right. But that is autobiographical then.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
He died in my bed.
Oh,
That's this,
well,
well, I wasn't in the bed.
but it's a wonderful story, and it's a fabulous, fabulous sentence.
That is
It's
probably
gripping.
my first or second story, probably my second story that I've
Really?
ever written, yes. Yes. And
You
the
started
neighbor
at the
lady,
top.
the neighbor lady,
Yes.
Harriet Haskin was,
Mrs. Haskins Raspberry.
yes. She was a college professor in this neighborhood. When I was a little girl, she asked me what I was going to major in college. She was an English professor. And I didn't know what major in meant, but